Okay, number 4, it says find the slope, x-intercept, and y-intercept of 2x minus 6y equals 36. So the slope, x-intercept, and y-intercept are all parts of a linear equation. It's actually in standard form because the x and the y are on the same side, so it's easier to start with finding the x and y intercepts. Then we're going to put into y equals mx plus b to find the slope. So again, to find the x-intercept, we basically put in 0 for y. Well, if I put in 0 for y, this term is going to go away. And I'm left with 2x equals 36. And then I would divide both sides by 2 and get x equals 18. The y-intercept, I'm putting in 0 for x, so this term's going to go away. And I'd be left with the negative 6y, because it was a minus sign in front of the 6, equals 36, and then divide by negative 6, which gives me y equals negative 6. So the y-intercept would be negative 6. Now to find the slope, we want to take 2x minus 6y equals 36 and put it in slope-intercept form. So the way we're going to do that is, again, we want to move this x to the other side. If I move it to the other side, so I'm going to have negative 6y equals, when I change sides I got to change the sign, so it's going to become a negative 2x. 36 is going to stay positive. Then I've got to get the y by itself, so I've got to divide everything by a negative 6. So I get y equals, now here, negative 2 over a negative. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. And then we reduce this fraction, so 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 6 3 times. 36 divided by negative 6 is negative 6. But again, all I'm worried about here is the slope. Well, the slope is the number in front of x when it's in slope-intercept form. So the slope is 1/3. Okay, number 5 is solving a system with substitution. So we want to use the substitution method to find the OP, or ordered pair, where lines intersect. So if I look at it, it says y equals 4x. Again, we try to find the variable, or the letter, that is completely by itself, nothing else on that side of the equal sign. So I've got y by itself, so that means I'm going to take the 4x and substitute it in for the y. So the bottom equation is now 3x plus 4x equals 21. 3x plus 4x is 7x. Divide by 7, get x equals 3. Then again, since we're finding the ordered pair, we go back to the equation we used for the substitution, y equals 4x. And now we know x is 3. So y would equal 4 times 3, which is 12. And we write it as an ordered pair, so 3, 12. Okay, 6 says, suppose you got 8 mangoes and 3 apples for $18, and someone else got 3 mangoes and 5 apples for $14.50. How much does each mango and each apple cost? Use x for the number of mangoes and y for the number of apples. So it's an apply system of equations. We want to set up a system of equations and solve with elimination. So the first sentence says we bought 8 mangoes, and mangoes are x, and 3 apples, apples are y, for $18. So my first equation would be 8x plus 3y equals $18, or 18. You don't need to put the dollar sign. Someone else bought 3 mangoes, again mangoes are x, 5 apples, apples are y, for $14.50. So 3x plus 5y equals $14.50. So now I'm looking at my two equations here. 8x plus 3y equals 18, and 3x plus 5y equals $14.50. I need to figure out which variable I want to eliminate, because right now if I add those together it's not going to do me any good. Nothing's going to cancel out. So the easiest way to think about this is look at the number in front of x. Whatever number is in front of x on top, we're going to put outside the bottom parentheses, so 8. Whatever number is in front of x on bottom, we're going to put out in front of the top parentheses. Now the other thing you have to look at is the beginning signs. These are both positive. So if these are both positive, I need to make one of these numbers negative. It doesn't matter which one. So I'll just pick -3. So I'm going to multiply everything in the top by -3. So that would give me -24x minus 9y equals -54. Then I'm going to take everything in the bottom times 8. So that's going to give me 24x plus 40y equals 116. Now I've got opposites here, -24 and +24. So I can add these two equations together. The x's would drop out. -9 plus 40 is 31y. And 116, or -54 plus 116 is 62. So then I would divide both sides by 31 and get y equals 2. Then I go back and figure out which equation looks easier. Doesn't matter to me, I'm just going to pick the first equation. So I'm going to take the 8x plus 3y equals 18. But now I know y is 2. So I'm going to have 8x plus 3 times 2 equals 18. So I get 8x plus 6 equals 18. So the variable is not by itself because of the 8 and the 6, so I get rid of the addition. So I subtract 6 and get 8x equals 12. Divide by 8. Now since we're talking about money, it's okay to have a decimal. So 12 divided by 8 is 1.5, which represents $1.50. So the mangoes, which are x, would be $1.50, and the apples, which are y, would be $2.